As we know, slavery in America was a brutal system designed to exploit Africans for economical gain. Through this system, various different legislations were put in place in order to oppress blacks and keep them from attaining power. An example of this were the various slave laws and codes created by U.S. states. This law is rooted in keeping blacks powerless and oppressed. It also can be linked back to the idea that blacks were seen as violent by nature and therefore should never be armed. This slave law has been depicted in a number of films and shows. An example of this is in 12 Years a Slave. When the main character and all of the rest of the slaves went to church, there had to be a white person present. In this case, it was actually the preacher. Because I believe these laws are still affecting our society today, I decided to conduct an experiment involving undergraduate Marian University students. By doing this, I was able to shed light and bring awareness for these issues to them.
If I were to see this guy in Walmart, I would probably be a little skeptical because I'm kind of scared of guns the way it is, but I would understand that it was his Second Amendment right, but I would still be aware of where he was in the store, but I would understand and I would not be fearful of him. If I were to see this guy in a store, I would be a lot more skeptical, especially depending on the area was. If I was unfamiliar in the area I was in, I'd be very skeptical and I would be very fearful of the man. I'd be really skeptical of him because the area I grew up in was not very diverse at all.
So where I'm from, there are a lot of people that are like hillbilly country boys who have their license to conceal and carry. So after seeing this guy in a Walmart behind me, I probably wouldn't be too skeptical of it because I see that type of thing all the time. Now if I saw this guy in a Walmart behind me, I think I probably would be a little more scared, especially if I'm by myself in a Walmart because I'm a white guy or a white girl.
Looking back on them and how they relate to today, I realized that racism and like the freedom of people in our country and their civil rights has come a long way, but there's still a lot of work to be done. I realize that implicit bias needs to be gotten rid of and people need to be more accustomed to more people, especially when they come from areas that aren't as diverse. Everyone needs to realize that people are just people. And once we have this understanding, I feel like more people will be equal in our society.
So when I first heard about this law, I had no idea it was even a thing. But now that I do know about it, I feel that it probably isn't going to change my perspective on both of these men in Walmart. But I think that's very interesting to know.
There are times where when we walk into a room or we walk into a building or we're hanging down in the lobby in our dorm hall that we're looked at funny kind of from different people, because like when the Sundoms, which is predominantly white little thing on campus, is down in the lobby, they aren't looked at funny. Everybody just thinks, oh, it's just the Sundoms. But when my friends and I are in the lobby, we're stared at. Sometimes people linger to see what we're doing, and sometimes it's just a little sketchy.
So on Black Friday this year, me and a couple of my other black friends, we were in the mall and we were waiting on some other friends to get out of the store. And as we were waiting, we were kind of like grouped up together, completely out of the way of both walkways. We were in the middle, sort of. And one of the mall officers came up to us and told us to disperse, stuff like that, just that we were in the way, and when clearly we weren't in the way. So after that, we didn't really move or anything because You know, we feel like we had the right to be there, and we had stuff that we had bought in stores, and we were just waiting on our friends to get out of the store.
So no, I'm not shocked. Like, I've never heard of these laws, but I'm not shocked that they did and were a thing. And so it kind of like makes me upset the fact that these laws are still in effect and that people still think this way, because a lot of times like blacks aren't a threat. It's just in certain, you know, instances, and you know, there's always going to be those people who do bad things, but it's kind of like upsetting the fact that I can't just hang out with my friends, or that I know my future children one day will be punished because of the way people think.
I haven't really heard much about the slave laws, but now that I'm being updated on them, I don't know, it's unfair. Of course, there's no way that it should still be happening. We all have different skin colors, like we're all different individuals, but we bleed the same color. We're all human beings. There's no reason that anyone should be treated less than the other. That may sound, as cliche as that sounds, it's our lives, it's truth. There's not much else to it.